Okay, we are going to be doing the data analyst form. So let's look at the directions first from the directions for use of forms. And we're going to go through this and then I'll show you how to do it. So note, duplicate the form before use. Rename it with the month it was completed. You're going to find your red flag item. At the beginning of the year, you can use the dashboard, but I don't recommend using it after winter break because it would be better to just choose by month by then because you want to compare month to month to month for your progress monitoring. You're going to be trying to answer the questions who, what, where, who, what, when, where, and why in this when choosing a red flag item, and I'll show you how that works. As I put here, this is the item you identify from the Swiss dashboard or from chatter that's heard from teachers. You can also search for your own. We're going to do that in my example, in my demonstration. For example, why are there so many problems at morning recess? Or my students are driving me crazy with their behavior. So you can drill down on those things like look at morning recesses, look at maybe not that teacher specifically, but maybe that grade level. Maybe there's an issue. So the data analyst will go to the drill down button on Swiss. The data analyst will choose the item to look at from the report filters on the left panel and type in the filter chosen in the box under red flag item. The data analyst should check off if it is a who, what, when, or where item, and then generate the report. In the blank under the checkboxes, record the data that you find after you generated the report. So then you're going to fill out the referral summary. And here's the directions for that. Complete the referral summary from the chart below the graph you just generated. So you're going to look for this little chart, and I'll show it to you in my demonstration. See example to the right of this box. That's the example. Looking at the number of referrals, check off if it is a systems issue or a student issue. If it's a systems issue, finish this form. If it's a student issue, drill down on each student. If any students have 2 to 5 major referrals, add them to new referrals in Tier 2 on the tips form. Add graphs to the tips form to the right of the new referral section. Okay, so then you have these drill down filters. Since you're working in Tier 1, the following drill down filter is color coded with the Tier 1 color from the tips form. You're going to use the graph type to look for significant spikes in data, answering the other who, what, where, when, and why questions. When you find a graph type that gives you significant information, you'll put the graph type in the box under drill down filter and check off what question it answers. Choose that item from the report filters and generate another report. Record the data in the space under the checkboxes. So this is where you're going to write what the filter is. This is where you're going to write what the actual data is. And then repeat these steps until you've answered each question. Then you're going to use the sentence frame to help you write a precise problem statement. There should be one sentence written as a complete sentence. So I've seen like little notes like third graders, recess. No, we want it in a statement, in a sentence. Now you'll write a single sentence using all the information you recorded under the checkboxes. In the precise problem statement box, you will write who, did what, when, where, and why. Copy the sentence and put it in the space for the new problem on the tips form. Snip the graph and paste it into the space for the graph. Save the report template using the button next to the Generate button. This will allow you to run this drill down in the future for progress monitoring. Best practice, click Share Template within school so that others can run this drill down as well. Also, name it with something you'll remember. For example, September physical aggression or October 4th grade disrespect. Right? And then you're going to plug in your precise problem statement here, and your drill down graph is going to go there. Okay, so let's do one. So I already started this. So it's this school year. I chose, let's pretend that I'm having a meeting next month, or tomorrow, I mean. And so I want to go back. I went back 4 weeks. So I put in the start date and the end date. And you can count back the 4 weeks. So it's on, the meeting is on the 5th. Here's today. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my start date. Okay. So I want to look at, I'm going to use the graph type. When you have this big enough, it's side by side like this. but because I'm splitting the screen, it's below. So anyway, so you'll want to look at, we want to look at the who first. So we're going to look at gender. Okay, a lot of boys, some girls. The other who we can look at is grade level. Lots of sixth graders. Okay. And what is the behavior? Okay, so we've got inappropriate language, we've got defiance, harassment, physical aggression. I don't want to have tardy in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my referral filters and I'm going to double click on tardy so that it's in my data set. Then I'm going to drag it. Oops. I'm going to drag it over here to exclude from data set to get it out of the amount of behaviors. Okay. So there. So I just took data or tardy out of there. All right. So I could go with behavior and let's see what, who, what, where. Look at location, a lot in the classroom. And when, I could look at day of the week. Wednesday seems to be a big problem. Ignore Saturday. Let's see. When could also be time of day. Okay. It's kind of evenly split between the beginning and the end. So there's 7 here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not really even, but pretty close. So that doesn't give us a whole lot except for this 4 here at noon. So my favorite thing to look at first is behavior, but you could pick any of those. It just depends on how you want to do it. So here's my graph. Here's my little summary box. So I'm going to go to my forms and we're going to, well, you know what? Well, we're going to use the August form for our meeting. So let's just pretend this is August data. So I need to make a copy of this form. So I'm going to duplicate and I'm going to rename. I want to keep the fact that it's a data analyst form probably and just put August in here. Okay, then I'm going to move it over closer to my August form so that I don't have to flip as far. Okay, so now looking at my data that I started the drill down on, I'm doing behavior. So I'm going to type in here behavior. And behavior is the what, so I'm going to check that off. And this should be merged, and it's not, so I will do that now. Okay, and the big behavior I see is inappropriate language is 8. Oops, hit the wrong button. I meant to hit control. Control enter. Defiance, oops. Defiance is 6. And harassment is 4. And physical aggression is 1. Okay. Oops. This did not expand. All right, I'm just going to drag it down so that it fits. There. Okay, so now I want to look at my summary. So I have 16 students with 19 referrals. So 16 students, 19 referrals. Oh my, this is messed up. There. Okay. This does not have a bottom. There. All right. So Is the problem best addressed through? So systems is 10 plus referrals. So I have 19. If it's less than 10 students, it would be new referrals. So I'm going to click systems. So this is going, I'm going to continue to and finish this, this form. Okay, so now I know that I want to look at inappropriate language because that's the biggest behavior. So I'm going to go to my report filters. Now, when you have it expanded, your report filters are on the left, but I have mine divided. So I'm going to go to behavior and I want to do inappropriate language. Oh, it's abusive language / inappropriate language. Okay, let's see if that recorded. Yes, it did. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to focus down on a very small piece of the overall data because you want to make improvements. You're not going to solve all problems, so you just want to make improvements. So I'm going to go ahead and generate. So here are my 8. I don't need to worry about the numbers in this summary anymore. Okay, I have 8 behaviors. Okay, so I want to look at where is it happening? Let's see, or who's doing it? Let's look at grade level. Wow, a lot of third graders. Okay, who? I know what the what is. How about when? Time of day. Happening a lot here. It looks like at lunchtime. I could look at day of the week. That doesn't usually tell us a whole lot, though. Well, it's happening a lot on Thursdays. Let's see, it was when. How about where? Let's look at location. A lot in the classroom, which makes sense because they're in the classroom more. Like the only time I would really use location as a focus point is if it was something other than the classroom that was really spiky. So I'm going to go ahead and use, let's look at that. Those third graders, there's 4 there. So we're going to do grade. This is the filter you're using. This tells us who, and it's third grade. And there were 4. Okay. So now I'm going to go to my report filters, and under demographics is grade. I'm going to double click third grade and generate. There's my 4 third graders. Okay. Now I want to see when they are doing it. So let's look at time of day. Mostly at lunch. There's that lunch spike again. Looks like right at the end of the day too. Day of the week. Is that going to tell us anything? Yeah, Saturday. That's a data issue. Okay, so let's look at time of day. So we're going to do time of day. This is when. And we're going to do the range 12 o'clock to 12:15. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to choose my report filters, date and time range. Now you also use time range if it's a single time. Like let's say it was just noon, we would put 12 o'clock p.m., 12 o'clock p.m. But because we have a little bit of a range here, do 12 o'clock p.m. to 12:15. Generate. Okay, there's my 3 behaviors. And so now we want to, we've got who, we've got what, we've got when. Now let's see where it's happening. Let's do location. Interesting. Classroom, it appears to be lunchtime. Okay, so we'll do classroom. Let's see, location. is where. So maybe it's right after lunch or right before lunch. Okay. And now let's look at why. Let's drill down on classroom. Make sure it's in there. Generate. Okay, and then there's my classroom behavior. Actually, I'm going to put 3 in here. And 12 o'clock to 12:15 also equals 3. And then let's look at why. Perceived motivation. Obtain adult attention. So perceived motivation is why. Obtain adult attention, and it is still 3. Okay, so now I'm going to take the who, what, where, when, and why, and I'm going to write a sentence. So 3rd graders are using inappropriate language. So who did what are using inappropriate language. When from 12 o'clock p.m. to 12:15 p.m. where in the classroom to obtain adult attention. Okay, so then now I'm going to take this sentence and I'm going to copy it and I'm going to go to my meeting and I'm going to go up here to new problems, systems issues, and I'm going to paste it right there. And it did not keep the formatting. Oops, merge. There we go. Okay, so then at my meeting, then we're going to write a goal and we're going to do solution actions. So some solution actions that you could pick at the meeting would be to, let's say it's after lunch. So reteach matrix after lunch. Might be happening, during the story reading time. Some teachers do after lunch. Maybe pass out more tickets. Pass out tickets for quiet students during read aloud. Okay, maybe that's the only 2. So who's going to do it? Maybe the principal is going to let the teachers know. Remember, you're doing this at the meeting. So you'll need somebody to volunteer to let the teachers know to do this. And by when to report on integrity. Now we need our drill down graph. That also needs to go in before the meeting. So this is my drill down graph. So I'm going to grab this part right here. Okay, so you click in the box, click Control-V, and these 3 little dots here, you say put image in selected cell. So now it's anchored to that cell. If you need to show it, you just make your form larger and show it. Okay, the next time you run this drill down, it's going to update the information. So let's go back to 100%. So the next month's meeting, you will copy this stuff down to here to previously defined problems. You're going to copy your statement, your goal to here, your solution actions down here, but you're going to put an updated drill down graph. So in order to do that, you have to be able to run the drill down again. So here's what you do to save it. You click Save Report Template. Okay, we're pretending this is August. We're looking at third grade inappropriate language. Okay, if you click Share Template with School, then other people that have access to the data can look at it, and then you save the template. This is a demo thing, so it won't let you save it. But then when you go to run it the next month, you go ahead and grab it, run it, and then you can just change the dates on it. This is no dates. But anyway, that shows you how you can rerun it. You just hit generate and it runs. And that's how you do the data analyst form.